Hello, in the previous video we saw about the structure and the position of Archegonia and Antheridia. So now we'll see the fertilizations, how the fertilizations occur in the ecosystem plant. The fertilization always takes place in the presence of water. So for the fertilization process, water is necessary. Free spermatozoids come to the victim of the Archegonia. Malic acid is secreted from the Archegonia, which attract the spermatozoids towards it. So after the releasing of this spermatozoid from the Antheridia, the malic acid which is secreted from the Archegonia will attract the spermatozoids towards it. Spermatozoid swims chemotatically towards the Archegonia. So the spermatozoids will attracted towards the Archegonia. Then it will enter into the venter cell of the Archegonia and fused with the egg to form the zygote. So we saw that in Archegonia there is a two part of Archegonia, one is the neck and one is the venter, and the venter consists of again two part, that is one is the venter canal cell and one is the egg. So after entering of the spermatozoids into the Archegonia, it will go and enter into the venter canal cell and then it will fuse with the egg cell to form the zygote. Coming to the embryogenesis, the oospore, or which is also known as zygote, divide transversely to form upper cell epibasal and lower hypobasal. So after the fusion of egg cell, after the fusion of spermatozoids with egg, it will form a zygote. And in embryogenesis, what will happen? The zygote, which is formed by the fusion of spermatozoids and egg, will divide transversely and it will to form the upper epibasal and lower hypobasal. So the upper portion is known as the epibasal and the lower portion is known as the hypobasal. Both will divide longitudinally to form the quadrant, and this epibasal and hypobasal will divide longitudinally to form the quadrant. So it will divide longitudinally. The next division in transfer and to form the octant embryo. So the next division will be octant transverse and it will form a octant embryo. The upper half of the octant, epibasal octant, further develop into the upper half of the octant. This is the upper half of the octant will further develop into shoot apical cell, which form the stem part, and the three peripheral lip initials which develop into the lip primordial. And the lower hypobasal part of the octant will give rise to the primary root and foot. So the zygote will divide transversely and will form two cells. The upper cell is known as the epibasal and the lower is known as the hypobasal. The epibasal cell and hypobasal cell will divide longitudinally and it will form octant, and after the formation of octant, the next division will be transverse, as a result of which octant embryo will form, and the upper octant or the epibasal octant further will divide into the upper octant will divide and it will form further develop. The upper octant embryo will further develop and form shoot apical cell which will form the stem part and the three peripheral lip initial which will develop into the lip primordium, and the lower hypobasal cell will form the root and foot. So this is all about the embryogenesis and fertilization of ecosystem plant.